case that I ended up going to prison for this time. The first case I caught was technically they considered it like a crime spree, because basically, like in the city where I'm from, like even though New York City is New York as a whole, you know, obviously everybody knows there's different boroughs and shit.
Right.
And the way that our city works is, you know, even though it's all New York, every borough technically is its own county, you know, because they're divided into different sections or whatever. So, you know, Brooklyn has its own county, its own court system. Queens has its own county, and so on and so forth. You feel me? So basically, what I had did was, and I was in Brooklyn originally, and long story short, there was a situation. We was at this party, and we leaving the party and shit, and like a couple of the niggas that I was with, they had did some shit like, I guess they robbed somebody in the party or like stole some shit. That's some weird bum ass Brooklyn nigga shit. You feel me? And more of the story is when the people whose possessions it had been or whatever the case is came outside, which it was like some bitches and like some like other niggas, some weird shit, whatever. Basically they came out, and at the time, like I'm one of like the only people in my age group that's like tatted up the way I'm tatted up, especially having like tattoos on my face and shit. So like a lot of like the negative situations I would get into like in the public would just automatically gravitate towards me, because it's like everybody would just automatically assume like I'm the reason why.
That's true, because if you look at a group of people and one of them has face tattoos, you're usually correct in guessing that that's the rapper.
I got him.
And I feel like police do the same thing. Like, that's the criminal. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So this bitch comes outside and she's fucking screaming and hollering and shit, and she's doing all this crazy shit. I'm drunk at the time. I'm like 17 at this time. I'm drunk as fuck. She's screaming and hollering and shit, coming after me and shit. She had some niggas standing with her. So long story short, one thing led to another, and I ended up, I used to walk around with a fanny pack, and I used to keep the fanny pack like strapped across me like this. You know what I'm saying?
What was in it?
I always kept a gun in there. So long story short, basically the way that I saw it, which now that I look back on it was completely irrational, but the way that I saw it was just like everything was just, the situation was just developing so fast and getting out of control, and then everything was so focused towards me that I just got to a boiling point, and long story short, I just took out the gun and I just started pistol whipping. Feel me?
So you didn't fire it, but
I didn't shoot.
Brandished it.
Yeah. So anyways, that was in Brooklyn. And, you know, I did that, and then, you know, you got the bitch screaming and shit, and everybody's going crazy and shit, so I left. And when I left, I got on the train. When I got on the train, I was going towards Manhattan. See, the dudes that I was with, they was all like, oh, we about to go home, bro, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, go home? Like, y'all niggas just had me running out here fucking pistol whipping this bitch, doing all types of weird shit, because y'all niggas want to be stealing shit, doing all this weird shit, you feel me? So I'm like, we not going home. What we're going to do is we're going to go run up these cards and whatever else you found in this bitch purse and all these different people's bags, and then you're going to give me the money, and then I'm going to go home, and then I'm going to feel like I didn't do this shit for no reason, because if not, it's going to be a problem. So then long story short.
I like that.
Yeah, long story short, I like basically.
Really taking charge.
Yeah, I basically like forced these niggas to like all like go to the city. And, like, I basically just, like, forced them to go into, like, each store.
In the middle of the night?
No, because this happened this was a party that happened, like, when we left, it had to have been maybe, like, 3, 4 in the morning-ish.
Okay.
So by the time that we got on the train and I basically, like, you know, like, took control of the situation, by the time that we made it to Manhattan, the sun was coming up. It had to have been, like, maybe, like, 6, 7 in the morning, like, on the dot. You know what I'm saying? So when we get off the train, I'm going store to store, telling them to go in the store, waiting outside the store, and waiting for them to come back with something for me. So we go from each store. We get to one store. They come out. They don't have nothing. They're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. The card deed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Basically meaning the card declined. It don't work no more. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we walking, we leaving. As we leaving, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just get tackled from behind, out of nowhere. Like, literally, like, I'm walking, I'm just thinking we about to go to another store and try it again or something, you feel me? And then out of nowhere, long story short, I just get tackled, like, off my feet. So before I know what's going on, I'm fake tussling, trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just reacting, natural reaction. Then I started realizing the fact that I was in the middle of basically of a fight with a cop. You feel me? It was a
Right.
cop that tackled me. I didn't know that. So then once I kind of seen that it was a cop, because I still had the gun on me, I kind of like realized the fact that I was just, I had to just take this L. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it's not much I could do. So he was arresting me and shit. Now my mans who came out the store, he's running. One of the cops tried to grab him. He's running. The cop slipped, fell, all types of shit. He ran. It was like some movie shit though, because I didn't know how else to react in the situation, but my natural reaction was I was just like, don't leave me, because he was running. He was about to get low, and I'm like, yo, no.
And how did the cops even find out that this was going on? Does it just get reported through the point of sale at the stores?
So here's the best part, right? We didn't even get caught up for scamming, and we didn't even get caught up for the assault yet. You feel me? We got caught up because one of these broke bum ass niggas was in the store fake like shoplifting shit. So they catch the shit on camera, knowing all the things that we've done leading up until this point.
And then he's shoplifting and get a little extra for himself?
Yeah, like basically like trying to put clothes under his clothes and walk out with the clothes. So that's why when he walked out, and I'm like, I bet we out. I'm like, yo, what's up? You ain't getting none? Nah, the card declined. I guess the card declined. And he was like, fuck this. And he went in the fitting room, did whatever he did, put on a bunch of fucking clothes underneath his clothes, walks out. We walks out. The store owner had already called the cops before he even walked out the store. I don't know this because he didn't tell me he stole nothing.
Wow.
So I'm walking. We thinking everything is cool. They rush us. And long story short, we all get arrested. We're all lined up. Now, at first, this is why this shit is a movie, because at first, we're all lined up. Now, see, at the time, like, I had one tattoo on my face, right? But even so, all of the people that I was with, and you know what I'm saying, this is just the type of society we live in, you feel me? Everybody that I was with was black. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying, like one of my bros had dreads, the other one had fucking box braids, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is, like, so long story short, I got a clean cut, you know what I'm saying? I got one of the Ray-Bans that they went and swiped at one of the stores. I already had them on my face. So I have the baby face at the time. So I have like the Ray-Bans on, and like I got the fanny pack on, and like I got the clean low cut, and like I'm just sitting there, you know what I'm saying? So it almost looks like if I'm out of place. But little do they know, like I'm like basically like orchestrating this whole like crime scene type situation.
And what year is this?
This is 2000 and shit. If I was 17, this is, or no, matter of fact.
Oh, so this is before you had any kind of rap thing going on?
I was rapping at the time, but it's just nothing was really.
You weren't popping off.
I wasn't popping yet. This was probably like 2016, 2017. No.
So the whole time that you're blowing up or experiencing, getting a bunch of eyes on you, you've got this case hanging over your head?
Oh, because it gets better, right? So long story short, they find the gun on me, right? So when they find the gun on me, they find the stolen property and everything else on them, you know what I'm saying? So they're basically going to get a slap on the wrist, you know what I'm saying? They don't even have any type of criminal record. I still already have priors from when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, we go to the station. Now, actually, rewind. Before we went to the station, they're searching me. Now, as they're searching me, the first person to search me was a male cop. He's searching me, feeling me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm nervous as fuck. Now, as he's searching me, he feels my fanny pack, but I got the Ray-Bans on. So he's like, what's this? So I was like, that's my eyeglass case. Said it cool as fuck, you feel me? I'm like, that's my eyeglass case, whatever. He's like, all right, cool. Now, like I said, with the perception of the situation and being that one of these niggas already had the stolen property on them, they're not coming here for a gun.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So long story short, then a female cop pulls up on the scene, and she goes to start searching me, and I'm like, one of the officers already searched me, and the dude was like, yeah, nah, I searched him already. She's like, all right, fine, yeah, so you have nothing to worry about then, yeah, let me just search you real quick. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. She starts searching me. She's like, what's this? I'm like, it's my eyeglass case. I just got these Ray-Bans, blah, blah, blah. She's like, all right, cool, yeah. Zzz, let me see it real quick. Boom. So she pulls out this big-ass 45, you feel me? Now, at the time, the gun that I had was a high point. Now, some people don't know too much about guns, but for people who do know about guns, high points are like big, doofy, like toy-looking, retarded. Like, just like if you have a high point, like you're frowned upon. It's like this is usually everybody's first gun if you're really from the trenches. You feel me?
So, just where you were at in your life at that point.
It's like it's a gun at the end of the day. Like I'm not being picky. Like you know what I'm saying. So
you're not trying to use it ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, so long story short, I had this big doofy ass fucking 45. Boom, she pulls it out. So they're like, they look at it. It looks so fucking ridiculous. They're like, yo, what are you doing with this fucking walking around with this BB gun? So now I'm going along with that. I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, fuck, I don't know. I'm just fucking, yeah, I don't know, just BB guns, yeah, whatever. By the time we get to the station, they realize it was a firearm. So now that they realize it's a firearm, this shit got serious. Because I wasn't even really a suspect until after this. Long story short, all the niggas that I got locked with from that thieving situation, they all told on me and said it was my gun. Now, I go to Rikers Island for the gun charge in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm on Rikers Island, I bail out. When I bail out, as I'm being released from the facility, I get rearrested by some undercover cops. I don't know what's going on. This is the 83rd Precinct in Brooklyn. So what had happened, now this is where the story, I'm starting to figure out what happened after I left Brooklyn. So after I pistol whipped this bitch and I left Brooklyn, she was leaking all crazy. She tried to take the train home. As she was taking the train home, she wasn't even going to say nothing. As she was taking the train home, she had to go to the hospital. When she went to the hospital, obviously it's regular protocol. They're going to ask you, like, what the fuck is this on your face? She's a female. She's not from the streets. You know what I'm saying? She said what she was supposed to say. So when she did that, I was in Manhattan getting arrested for the gun charge. So when she gave them my description, I'm the only person who got arrested 4 hours later with that same tattoo on my face. You feel me? So they rearrested me for the assault charge. So now I'm getting rearranged. Now they give me assault with a deadly weapon. So now I'm on bail for a gun charge in Manhattan, and then now when I got locked up, I bailed out again, and I'm on bail for assault with a deadly weapon in Brooklyn.
Wow.
And that was in 2017.
And so, how long did it take before you actually got sentenced?
Oh, I caught two more gun charges before I got sentenced.
Okay, so let's talk about this. It's a pretty bold decision to make, to just walk around with a gun on you all the time in New York City, knowing that the punishment is very extreme
Severe,
compared to a lot of parts of the country. Is that just something that was kind of obvious to you your whole life, that you needed to do that for safety, or what was your thought process on that?
The thought process, it comes with a lot of things, right? Like, coming from where I come from, the same way the penalties are severe for getting caught with a gun, the penalties are that much severe, if not more severe, if you're living a type of, lifestyle, or if you're associated with certain things and you don't have one. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, it goes back to the saying where everybody's like, I'd rather get caught with it than without it, because at the end of the day, you still have a chance at life, whereas, the latter, you don't.
Yo, we just hit 400,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel, so if you want to help us out, click subscribe, get us to 500K. Yeah.